morning, Flosstube. This is Katie Carney and Katie Carney Stitching, and it is the 17th of February, and this is my Flosstube number 97. We're closing in on 100. Can you imagine? I hope that you're all well. It is snowing here in Scranton. It's 8:30 in the morning. Usually I go to the grocery store for between 7:30 and 8. But I thought I'd give the snow a little time to stop, and then I'll change out of a sweater and into a sweatshirt before I go shovel and clean off my car. I wish I could just wait till tomorrow to go to the store, but it's my dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Dad, if you're watching this. I know sometimes you do, and then I'm embarrassed. And I'm making him dinner tomorrow, and that is involving a cherry pie. And while I have the cherries, I do not have any of the other stuff. And nor do I'm making a prime rib that's in my fridge, defrosting. I'm making popovers and roasted vegetables, and I don't have the vegetables. So I have to go to the store. And worst thing, yesterday I made Plotsky. It's Lent here. Well, it's Lent everywhere. It's Lent if you're Christian, particularly Roman Catholic. So Fridays we don't eat meat during Lent. And I made potato pancakes Plotsky. And apparently my stove is broken or something's wrong with it. So I was making the last batch, and the heat on electric, it just went up, 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 and it burned my pan so bad I have to go buy a new one. And it's snowing, and I need to go to Dixon City to buy a pan today because I don't have another skillet that size. It's an always pan. I love that pan. I use it every day. But Fra's like, you're not getting another one of those. It's too expensive. And I don't feel like fighting with her about a pan. But I use it for everything. I make pasta in it. I do everything in that pan. And now I have to get rid of it. And I'm upset. But anyway, it's been 3 weeks. So I have a tremendous amount to show you. And it's both whips and haul and starts and some stories and. I have been keeping up with my calendar here. It's very bright, so I'm hoping the lighting... So I look great because we're in front of a window. My skin looks like I'm not 37 years old. I also told somebody I was 38 last week, and I'm not. I'm 37. Let's not push ourselves closer to 40, okay? Anyway. Very boring, but I'm keeping up with my calendar. Really enjoying it. So that's very helpful, so I can tell you all what I've been working on, and so that I can look back, because I'm for easy. All right, first off, I have an FFO, and it is my February Quaker. So I finished this actually like February 2nd, but I didn't fully finish it till last weekend. I just didn't have it in me. I changed this color to Cinnamon by Color and Cotton. It was a specialty Birdie Bots Every Flavor Bean from the Frogworts box. I want to say year 1, but I could be wrong. And it's my new favorite red, and it doesn't exist. Can't get it. This is Seashell-y, I think. And then the green is a DMC. It was supposed to be a slightly darker green, but these colors are my favorite, what I used. So I did change the green also. And I love it. It's on an 18 count oatmeal Aida. And I just laced it myself. It took about 20 minutes. It's not perfect, but I'm not stressed about it because it's just for me. So that's an FFO. And then I have a small finish that's not technically really, it's not finished, but it's what I'm doing. So I told you that Jen was UFOing some projects, and I was like, I'll take them. So the next one I did was Winter Wonderland. This is by Stitching with the Housewives. So I had to finish up the snowman, do the couple snowflakes. I meant, and I forgot, I'm gonna put, this is like some backstitched like this ball is here, and I'm going to do that today. But then otherwise it's done. It's going to go with my finishes. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's very cute. And I did ask, and Jen does not want the floss back. So, yay, because I have a new favorite white, and that is not this blue. Chalk by the Gentle Arts. I love it. It's like the best white. I don't even know how to, I love it. My new favorite white. Who knew I would have a favorite white? I did not, but I do, and it is chalk. And there's this one, and I think there's one other one in there, so I'm excited to put that in my stash. And actually, I was like, do you want this little bag back? And she said no, and it is just perfect for a small. So I'm happy to add that to my collection. So those are my finishes, and I have several whips, believe it or not, so let's show you those. So first off is the Prayer of St. Francis. I told you I am doing this for my grandmother and hoping to have it done reaching goal by her birthday, April 12th, actual goal by Mother's Day. It's by my Big Toe Designs. I think Big Toe, something like that. Yeah, my Big Toe Designs. It's a horrible picture. That's what comes with the pattern. And I am using DMC, I want to say 154. Let me check on my project card. DMC 154 and a hand dyed by Stephanie 32 count Winter Wishes. So I am finishing up my third skein of DMC. I am doing 2/2. But I have plenty more DMC where that came from. I don't know where, but I do. Somewhere. And let me move my needle minder so I can show you where I am. So we're getting there. I love this piece. I think I am like 30-ish% done. When you just sit and work on this, it's only one color and words are really fast, so it doesn't take long. The last time you saw it, I had finished where there is this one, let me bring union. So where there's discord, let me bring union. So then I did the 2 borders there, and I'm finishing up that bottom border, and I'll start the next round of letters. Fingers crossed that I get this done. It is so, I love it. I love it so much. And Fra will love it. So that's one whip. I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to finish that bottom border, and then I'll put it aside for the weekend because I'm giving myself a new start this weekend. So I love it. I love me a new start. Okay, I have lots of whips today. My next one is my Prairie Schooler Santa. I haven't gotten a ton done on this, but this is Santa 1996. I do 4 of these a year, so this one needs to be done by the end of March. I use the called for very messy DMCs. Wow, they are a disaster zone. This is not all the colors for this one. Once I add a color to this ring, it just stays on because they are pretty good about reusing the same colors over and over again. So there they are. Messy, messy, messy. But they've been in this bag for over 4 years, 3 years, 4 years. Oh, that was attached to the needle. We'll have to rethread that. But anyway, here's where I am. I've started the jacket. Usually I do the borders on these first, but because this one is just a backstitched border, I started with Santa himself. So I'm going to do Santa, and then I will do the walking stick, and then I'll do the snowflakes and border. So he's very easy. I do love these. And now that I finally have a plan for how to finish them, it does feel a little less like, well, what am I doing this for? There's always a plan, but I don't always know what it is. I usually don't, actually. Oh, it stopped snowing. Thank God. Anybody want to come shovel for me? Because I definitely don't want to. Okay, sorry, I have Flosstube nose. And I'm about to get it much worse because I'm going to touch some yarn that I am definitely allergic to. So my friend Tara, I made her a cowl, and now I'm working on her hat. And if I was a good friend, I would finish this weekend because she's coming to my house for dinner on Monday. I'm cooking. But I don't really feel like knitting, so I don't know. I'm on to the decreases, so I mean, we're getting there. And I am a good friend. I'm making her dinner, and she gets to keep the leftovers. So I am not a bad friend. I just don't feel like knitting right now. But I will. I'm going to finish this weekend. I'm going to be a good friend. It took her a year to give me the yarn. And I've only been working on these since January 1st. So we're fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. But I am seriously allergic to that yarn. I pull it out and the fuzz starts going and my nose starts going. And anyway, next whip is Winter Rose Manor, which I started in January 1st. This is my New Year, New Start 2021. It's by With Thy Needle and Thread. I am using a Bramble by Picture This Plus 32 count, and I love it. It's probably one of my favorite colors now that I've used it. I am using its 32 count linen 2/2. I am using the Vicky Clayton silk conversion, and your girl is very worried she's not going to have enough. You've all seen this before. It's a favorite of everyone. I set the goal to finish the border, and I did. So let's unravel. Ready? Woo! And I was able to cut the fabric. Yeah, that's right. Right? Nope. There we go. So, border's in. Drop in the bag. Hang on. I made this bag, by the way. Border is in. It wasn't bad. Those little tiny flowers took forever. Not even forever. I just got tired of working on them. Like, I was ready for them to be done because there's a lot of them. But I was like, no, we are finishing this border because I'm a firm believer in once the border's done, you can just make everything fit inside. It'll be fine. I'm off by a half a stitch on the bottom border. So I'm just not going to go off the bottom border. Don't know where it is. Couldn't find it. Not going to stress about it. It's all good. This isn't full coverage, so it'll be fine. The next time I work on this, the first page is these trees here and up to here. So my next goal will be to finish that first page. And then I have a plan for doing the house. I don't think I'll finish this year because I have two 2020 whips. Do I have two 2020 whips? Where's my calendar? 2020. No, actually, Christmas Spirit is my oldest whip. I have to finish that this year. But I started that the 25th of 2020, and I started Winter Rose Manor 6 days later. So, those are my two oldest whips, and they both need to get finished. But Christmas Spirit is the goal finish for this year. And Prayer of St. Francis. Those are two very large whips. So I am not going to... That's what I'm going to work on this year, and we'll see what else gets done. These are the silks. I am being very, very cheap with them. I'm cheap with all my floss, but wow, with silks. I love working with these. They're great. I love them. Please pray I have enough. She's great. She sends you a sheet so you know the called for and what silk to use. Yeah, I love Vicky Clayton silks. And if money grew on trees, I'd probably use them more often. But it does not. The money is not infinite. All right. I have one more whip, and then I have lots to show you. Don't leave yet. My next whip is from the Heart Needle Arts, and this is the March Quaker. As you know, I am doing these every month, and I am loving them. This month, I did not have any of the fancy floss, which is a lie. One of them is English Ivy, which I have. It's in Frogwarts, but I didn't pull it. I just pulled the DMC. So believe it or not, I didn't have one of the DMCs. I had to go to Michael's, which was fine because I bought other things at Michael's. But, like, I have a full set of DMC. But I don't, obviously. So it is DMC 368, 3363, and 3051. They are fun greens. Not too bright, but not bright. I keep these in my Bitsy Bob this is the special edition sampler one that I don't remember. I haven't bought one of these in years and years and years. This is a very early one that I got for a gift. But I love the fabric. Anyway, has my Clay by Kim St. Patrick's Day needle minder on it, of course. And that's where I am. I started this on Wednesday. Was Wednesday? Yeah, Ash Wednesday and Valentine's Day. So it was a horrible Valentine's Day. My life is pretty horrible, but we're still trucking along. Everything's fine. And here it is. So I'm 30% done, I think. I'm recharting these because they do not convert to Pattern Keeper, and with Quakers I do a lot better having the ability to have that in Pattern Keeper. So that's another thing that does take time, is having to rechart them. Anyway, I love it so far. I probably won't work on it tonight because I told you I'm giving myself a new start. And now let us well, first off, just so you know, the fabric is in my bag from Steph that has my, I love this bag so much. You should all order from her. Although you can't order from her because I have a list, so don't order from her yet. Also, the money's not infinite, so actually do, because I'm not allowed. Your girl's not allowed to shop. Okay. I love you all. Thank you for putting up with me. Okay, so I know I told you that I have no chill, and that the fabulous houses are my new favorite. So I decided I was going to start Santa's house. This is Cottage Garden Needleworks. She's doing a house a month. I have the very messy DMC. And last week I was really very depressed. I was not okay at all. Your girl is not okay. And I was like, I'm starting it. I know that my floss isn't on rings. I don't care. I have the fabric. So I started it on 40 count Zweigart, a light bluish gray. And I did the white border at the top and said, this is not going to work. Because you can't see it. I mean, you can kind of see it because it's really, really bright outside, but you really can't see it. And the third house is a greenhouse, which is all white. And you can't see it. It's too light. So I messaged Jen and I was like, I don't know what to do. I have been looking forward to starting this. I can't afford to buy any new fabric. Like, what am I going to get? You know, the Fox and Rabbit is just, you can't get it. They can't. And she was like, well, maybe take a deep breath. And she pulled for me, Itchy Flosstube knows again, Bestitch Me Stonehenge, which I had in a 18 count Ada and I used it all. But she sent me 40 count Stonehenge by Bestitch Me. So I get a new start this weekend. And this is very similar to the Fox and Rabbit. I'll put them next. I have the Fox and Rabbit in 32 count, the actual color, but it's not big enough. See, they're very, very similar. So I'm starting that tonight. I did indeed make her put DMC, what is the white, 3655? Yes, 3865. I made her put it next to each other to make sure it was going to work. So anyway, I get a new start today. And that's that. So 2 weekends ago, my dad and I went to an 18th century artisan fair in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And I wasn't going to buy anything. But I did anyway. So, first I got this beautiful fractor art. This is the more modern version of a fractor. It says, "Be still and know that I am," which I actually have a large piece hanging of this in my office. That's just a cheap clearance Hobby Lobby, but this is like my favorite. I have a lot of trouble with this, so it's a constant struggle for me. So beautiful. Then, so I told you I know what I want to do with my Prairie Schooler Santas, and that is to make books with them. And my plan is to buy the Erica Michaels kit for making, or not kit, pattern for making books. Well, while I was there, one of the artisans that were there was Williamsburg Bookbinding, and they had a kit to make your own book. So it comes with the paper, instruction sheet, needle and thread, title sheet, and blank sheets. So my plan is to not rip the bag. So my plan, there's the cover and the paper. And the needle and thread. So my plan is to make the book. And actually, once I figure it out, I might not need the Erica Michaels kit because I'll know how to do it. And then I just have to sit down and figure out what I'm going to do for the Santas. So that was like $7. My dad got it for me, actually. It was like $7, and I was like, yes, I will take that, and I'm going to make a book. I'm going to learn. Then there was a potter there, and I have no chill. He was throwing these mini pots, and I fell in love. And he's like, "Oh, we sell them." And I was like, "Oh, take my money." Aren't they cute? Come on. And then these little heart-shaped dishes. I did give one away. I didn't want to, but I did. Keeping the rest. I came home with them, and Fra's like, "You made me put all my little things away." I was like, "I didn't make you do anything. We just had something else to hang on the wall where your shadow box was." So anyway, I'm very excited by those. They've been on the dining room table, and I love them. They make me so happy. I could have bought everything they had and just put little pots everywhere. I don't know why. You never know what's going to tickle my fancy, and those did. Also, while we were there, my father has always wanted me to get an inkle loom and make him belts. My dad is really a big man. He's 6'3". He is not thin. He's just a big dude. And I've always been like, ugh, I have so many hobbies. Well, there was a woman there who uses an inkle loom to make belts. And instead of just having the very plain, these are like woven belts. Instead of having just very plain, she had like flowers designed into them. They were beautiful. And I looked at my dad and I was like, I'll do it. So instead of buying the $140 inkle loom, we decided to start with the Ashford inklet. And so that's what the loom itself looks like when you put it together. I've not done that yet because I'm going to take an afternoon off of work, pick lunch up for Fra and I, and then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to put on like the first Harry Potter that I don't watch it. I just have it on as noise, and I'm going to figure out the loom. I'm not going to talk to anybody. Fraud's going to leave me alone. I'm not going to have to feel guilty that I should be doing things because it's a Saturday, because it's going to be a weekday and I'm going to use PTO. And I'm going to figure it out. So when I was at Michael's last weekend, I got a bunch of colors of this loops and thread. That's more of like a peachy color. And I got like a purpley and a gray and a tan. I also got some clearance crochet cotton in a couple colors that they had on clearance, because I like the idea of making myself like purse bands. So that'll probably be what I do first. So I have some yarn to get started, and hopefully in the next couple weeks I will have time. Now I have one more piece of haul. I've been watching whip parades nonstop, and I've not bought anything until someone showed this. And I fell in love with it and immediately went to eBay and found it. I had a little bit of a gift card, and I messaged the woman and asked her if she would sell it for a little less than she had it priced at, because the shipping was very, very high. And I was like, the shipping doesn't need to be that expensive. It's not going that far. And she was willing, and I got it. So it's fully intact, but I did pull out the fabric. It's ruined, which is fine. The needle was still in there. So I am going to use, this is a 14 count off-white Aida. I'm going to use a 16 count Aida because I want it to be a little smaller. And I really want a tea dye. I have white 16 count Aida. I thought I had a piece of the right size Aida. I had it in a tube that somebody had given me, but they had used half of it and I didn't know. So I pulled it out. I was like, yo. But I don't really want to buy any fabric for this. When I have 16 count, I just need to dye it. I just don't know how to coffee tea dye. So Sarah from Sarah K Stitches, she lives a couple blocks away. She was going to come over today, but she ended up being busy. So hopefully next weekend she can come over and show me how to do that. I don't know when I'll start this. Honestly, the reason I really liked it was because of the train. Mark and I love our train rides, but I don't know what's going to happen with Mark and I, so but I still love trains, and that's not going to change no matter what. So anyway, on that fun haul but took a turn, I hope that you're all well. I thank you for your comments and for watching and for being with me, and I know that it's been difficult to be with me lately as I navigate my life right now. So thank you very, very much. Know that you're in my thoughts and prayers during this Lenten season. I hope that if you celebrate Lent, that celebrates the wrong word. If you walk through Lent, that it is fruitful for you, as I hope mine is. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here, and I will see you in a couple weeks. Bye.